What's going on, guys? I am aggressively American, and I'm here to shed light on all the ways you're being manipulated, one video at a time. Can somebody please tell me what the F we owe Ukraine? What does the United States owe Ukraine? The more and more I watch that clip about what happened between Trump and Zelensky in the Oval Office, and especially the reactions to it, the people feigning like outrage that, Trump and Vance behaved so irresponsibly and so unreasonably. This guy comes into the Oval Office supposed to be ready to sign deals. He didn't sign the deal. Now, by the way, he's backtracking. He's begging us to sign the deal, but that's neither here nor there. We'll get into that in a second. This guy comes into the Oval Office begging for more money. He was supposed to be there to do peace, to negotiate a peace deal, to set terms for this war to come to an end, and he refused. And people are saying that Vance and Trump were the ones that instigated the aggression between the two of them, and that is absolutely outrageous. I saw this supercut I wanted to show you guys. I saw this supercut of Zelensky's body language throughout the meeting. It was a long meeting. It was almost an hour long. Only a small portion of it is being played. The body language of this guy shows the disrespect that he came in with. He's acting like a child. He's acting like, he's acting like a spoiled idiot. Watch this clip. Watch the body language.
The rebuilding. And
Keir Starmer at the White House this past week.
This country have an obligation to do that. Plus,
Putin and President Zelensky.
Wait, for both. I want to get it solved, but I want to see it get solved.
May I follow up? One more question. In the future.
But we have put in far more than they have. And I
Mr. President,
please go ahead.
Ask you about the agreement again today. What changed?
I'm going to be very nice. Run by today, and we thought they took it very, very much too far. JD was the agreement. Yeah, we're signing an agreement. I just told you I don't think that's going to happen. And if that were going to happen, I wouldn't make a deal. If I thought that was going to tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred. And I understand that, but
I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to
dictate what we're going to feel.
Offer some more.
You got to be more. You don't have the cards. With us, you have Obama. They respect. Let me tell you, Putin, all I can say is this. He might have empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without think it's going to be pretty. But you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards.
So you tell me, if you were a country that was coming to ask for more welfare, more assistance, and by the way, assistance that you're not prepared to give us back, that's what the mineral deal was for, was so we could start getting some of this money back. The United States has given more money to Ukraine than every other country combined. And the money that we give them, we have no way of getting back. It was not a loan, it was just given to them. The rest of the countries, the majority of the money they gave, they're getting back. Furthermore, we're not tracking where the money goes. We're not tracking what happens to the weapons. Zelensky says he's only received half of what we said we've given. This is a catastrophe. And all we needed him to do was say, hey, we want to find a way to get peace in this war, which he doesn't want to do because he's got a chokehold on his country. They say he's not a dictator. The guy's 5 years into a 4-year term. When the war ends, his term is over. Elections can start happening again. Why doesn't he want the war to end? He was supposed to come in there ready to negotiate a peace deal, and if he wasn't, he needed to come in there ready to give the United States an opportunity to get the hundreds of billions of dollars that we've given them back, and he refused to do it, and he came in with an attitude. So again, I say, what is it that we owe Ukraine? What is it that we owe them? They're not in NATO. We have no obligation to help these people. This is like saying just because I can't pay my bills, the rich guy down the street has an obligation to give me money. And I'll tell you what, if he was giving me money to keep me afloat, to keep me alive, the last thing I'd do is show up to his house acting like he owed me more money. But people are saying that Trump was unreasonable. You know what? It wasn't just Trump. Let me show you something. Here's an article of many articles. You can find these articles all over the internet. Not just Trump. Biden had also raised his voice at Zelensky once. Here's what happened. U.S. President Donald Trump, not so polite discussion with Ukrainian President Zelensky in the Oval Office, grabbed headlines on Friday. Both parties seemed firm on their stance, but was that the first time a U.S. president raised his voice at Zelensky? Nope. Show a little more gratitude. That sounds familiar. In June of 2022, former U.S. President Joe Biden was on a phone call with the Ukrainian president, and in the middle of the conversation, Biden lost his cool and shouted at Zelensky. At that time, the U.S. had just announced an additional $1 billion in aid to Ukraine after Russia's invasion. As per the report by NBC News, before Biden could even finish his sentence while informing about the aid on the phone, Zelensky started requesting more assistance. The frustrated Biden, who lost his temper and told Zelensky that America is already being generous enough and that Ukraine should show a little more gratitude. Holy F. And you know what? There's all sorts of news clips from that time of reporters talking about, yes, Ukraine should show a little more gratitude. Why aren't we getting the same coverage now? I remember when Donald Trump was going to get into office, people said he's going to start World War III. This man is there begging to negotiate for peace, and those same people are arguing that the war should continue. It is madness, people. It is madness. The gaslighting is out of control. The spin is outrageous. But that's neither here nor there. As I told you, Zelensky is literally now saying, hey, look, we didn't say we're not going to sign the mineral deal. We said that we're going to sign it. Don't worry, we're going to sign it. I think the U.S., they're still going to sign it. I think we just, maybe they just need a little more time to look a few things over. This is coincidentally coming after Trump cut off all further aid to Ukraine. So you come into our country, you bite the hand that feeds you, and now you see that Trump isn't playing around. Check out this clip.
But Zelensky is out there now saying that he thinks he can still get this minerals deal without saying sorry.
We are not making any steps back. This is our policy, to be consistent regardless of what happened before. We are constructive. If we agree that it will be signed, from our side we are ready to sign. I honestly think the United States will be ready as well. Maybe they need time to analyze some things.
Yeah, well, good luck, because there is still a desire by Republicans in D.C. to end the war in Ukraine and to make a deal with Ukraine on the way forward. But after Friday's Oval Office dust-up, Republicans don't care if peace happens with Zelensky in charge or somebody else, although nobody is saying yet who they think a suitable Zelensky replacement could be.
I think when it's all said and done, again, I think the initial visceral response was people being like, oh my God, I can't believe what happened. This is so outrageous. But when we really got some time away from it as a country, I think more and more people are going, you know what? Needed to happen. Needed to happen. And I think one of the best responses is this guy on Facebook. He's a comedian. Check out this video. I loved it.
We've given you troops, we've given you money, we've armed your entire military.
Right.
We are the only reason you're still alive in this war, and it looks like you're not going to win. And America has not seen a single cent of return. So we'll help you with this ceasefire, but we want a stake in your minerals.
Ceasefire. When will the lesson be learned?
Is this not what happened? Trump's literally arguing for peace. If he was a Democrat, he'd have an effing Nobel Peace Prize by now. Was this not what happened?
When will the lesson be learned? I signed a ceasefire with him in 2019, and yet he attacks. You can't reason with the tiger when your head is in its mouth.
First of all, fix your tone. We are the only reason that you are still a country. Second, please stop pretending like you're a pure victim.
And we don't owe
here,
you
as if
anything.
You have the moral high ground, parading yourself like some beacon of hope, defending democracy in the West, as if you're not just as corrupt as they are. We have given you $350 billion, and you can't account for where half of it went?
Literally.
The true victims here are the American people, which is why from now on we are acting on behalf of American interests first.
Guys, make no mistake, it's not like the U.S. just has this big stockpile of money that doesn't come from anywhere. It comes from you and I. We pay that money. We are the ones giving money to Ukraine, the hundreds of billions that can't be tracked. That's our money. That's your money, guys. That's your money. You have a say in that.
Never forget that you need our help because you are weak and we are strong.
You tell me that the ceasefire will hold because Putin respects you. Let's just say that he does. Let's say he does respect you and the ceasefire holds. What happens when you leave office in 4 years? What then? When they replace you with some other shill, and let's say he doesn't respect this guy, then what do we do? How about by then you become a country that isn't a parasite and can fight its own battles?
Boom! Just like that. Dunk on him, bro. Dunk on him. It is literally that simple. It is literally that simple. So as you walk around, as you go on about your day today, guys, as you go do this and you go do that, remember, the same people saying that World War III was going to get started, virtue signaling over this, virtue signaling over that, claiming the moral high ground, those are the same people that are standing up for a man who refuses to accept negotiations for peace.